Hello everyone, this will be we're approaching the end of our FPS Wizard tutorial series. We've got two more episodes to go after this one. In this one we are going to cover different game modes. So we're going to start out by going over to world settings here, clicking on the game mode override. If you don't see this world settings tab, you can access it by clicking window and then world settings here. So FPS Wizard comes with three base game modes: Deathmatch, CTF, and Territories. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our root and then base classes, and then you'll see Deathmatch and CTF and Territories all here. So let's start out with let's go and check out Deathmatch first. So here in the game mode, you can set up all the options that you want as far as the game rules go. You know, your score to win, how many, the score you get per kill. You could even set that to negative if you wanted, or never mind. You can make the time unlimited or not. You can set a time limit here. This would be in seconds, so this would be about 10 minutes, 600. Default player health and the max player health. So if you want a player to start out with 100 but be able to go up to 150, you can set that here. Health regeneration. This is like Call of Duty, like your health will automatically regenerate after a certain amount of time. The delay is how long it will take between the last time you got shot and when your health will start regenerating. And then the regeneration rate is how fast your health will regenerate. We can go and leave those on. The respawn time, pretty simple. And these are actually debug. You don't actually need to worry about these guys. And then kill messages. This is pretty fun. You can actually say, these are what will be printed in the kill feed, and they will follow the format of X player, your phrase here, Y player. So if we had a player Sam who kills player Bob, if we typed in got killed by, in the kill feed this would say Sam got killed by Bob. And there's no limit to what you can do with this. You could say, got messed up by, got screwed by. So some fun stuff you can put in there. You can put as many messages as you would like. You can do multiple. Name of map to load on quit. This will be the map that the game will load once the round is over, when either the score limit has been hit or the time limit has been reached. So you could set this to whatever the name of the map you want to load is, or if you want to load like the menu or something, that's where you would choose that. And then close these up. And then finally game end timer. So this is like the time, the kind of wind down time between when the game is actually won, like that score hits the limit, and when the game actually will totally close out and load a new level. Then down here, we'll go ahead and so up here there's these three. So check teams enable. That'll enable teams. and here you can, set the teams to auto balance and set, or not, and set the friendly fire to enabled or disabled. And then here you would set your materials for your meshes. So here we could, so team 1 will be red. I think we actually have a material in here. Yes, first person and third person, and then we'll do blue for team 2. These materials are included with FPS Wizard under starter or sample content. I compile and save, and then when we load this in, we'll be on a red team, and we can spawn a split screen guy for blue team. Sorry, headphone users. So that's that. That's all the deathmatch settings. And we also have 2 other ones called, we have territories, so we're going to look at that one. You'll have the same settings as far as the actual settings here go, but what you want to do is actually go, what we're going to do is go here and go to example territory, and we'll go ahead and duplicate that and call it my territory. Open that up, and then save it. And then here, let's go open up the full editor. We've got a few options here. We close out the ones we don't need. So just want to worry about these. Controlled materials. So these are the materials that correspond to the team that's holding it. So 0 or 1, red or blue, and then the neutral material. And then also, and then here, we'll close that. In gameplay, we have these will all be visible in the editor, so if you are playing like in the editor and you want to check something, you can click on it and you'll see these. But you can change the position name to whatever you want it to be. And then you can set the scoring here. The capture rate, this is a little counterintuitive. The capture rate is, actually never mind. This that's right, yeah. There was at one point, this was like the opposite, where the smaller it was, the faster it would capture, but I think this is actually, that was fixed. And then score to add per second, so once a territory is held by a team, the score that will be added to that team score every second. I'll leave that at 1. Then what we can do is we can go here, back out to our map, and we can drag this in. We'll puff it up a little bit. Let's make sure to set our game mode to territories, and you'll want to make sure, again, like with the deathmatch, you select the one that says, that has a little thing that pops up and you hover over it. If you click this one, it won't work properly. I know that's a little confusing, they have identical names. Just the ones that don't have this thing that pops up are the root C++ classes, and they don't have any settings set. These are the ones you want. Anyways, let's go back to it. Go back to our details tab, and we'll name this guy, oh, we can leave him at alpha, sure. We'll duplicate this. You can, in case you forgot, you can duplicate objects by holding Alt and then dragging on the transform. And we'll move this guy over here. We'll call it, beta. And then if we really want to, we can duplicate this again. We'll leave all the other settings the same, except what we're going to do is go to our mesh component here, and we can actually change the mesh to technically be whatever we want it to be. Let's do a let's capture a chair. Sounds pretty fun. Might not render quite properly, but we'll give it a shot. And then you'll want to make sure your collision is set to generate overlap events and set to overlap all. So I'll save, and then we'll drag this guy out and puff him up. Then we'll name him Charlie. Save, and then hit play. And now we've got some territories to capture. Oh, you know what? Crap, I was right. Yeah, you do want to actually set these to be small. My bad. Okay. This is an old version. Although I think they might still be like that in the new version. I'll fix it later. Anyways, yeah, so smaller is faster for right now. So we go, we capture this guy, and he's changed red. Capture this guy, and he's going to be red again, and then we'll capture this guy as well, the chair. And then we can add in a debug, another player, start capping some blue, making it turn blue. There we go. And then if so we can do this fast. If do some maneuvering here. If two players are trying to cap the same territory, the territory will be contested if the number of players capping it is equal for both sides. If you have two red players and one blue player, then the capture rate will be the difference between the two. So that's territories. I'm going to go and delete all these off the map. And then lastly, we're going to try to capture the flag. So change this to CTF. And then we'll go to, so you've got we've got 4 different examples here. So we've got 2 categories. We've got flag and flag return. Flag return is, think of it as the base for a team. This is where the team will go, they'll run over to the enemy team and they'll come back, and once they hit this, it'll capture that flag. So we'll put a red and a blue. I'm actually going to nudge this a little bit over so it's not right on the player spawn. And then there's just one property for these, and that's owning team. You can also set the mesh too, so you could make it be bullet shell, sure. And then you'll have your actual flags, and these have a few more options, but again, nothing too complicated. So you'll have pickup mesh is the collider. It's invisible in gameplay, but that's what the player will run into. Typically, you just want to use something simple like a cylinder. And flag mesh is the representation of the object of the flag. I included a little blue flag with the wizard. And then you'll have a few options here in the gameplay. You'll have the owning team, which 0 will be red team, 1 will be blue, and how long the flag will take to reset after being dropped. I'll show you what that means in just a minute. First, let's drag our flags out. Scale them up a little bit, and then let's drag our red guy out. Put him here. Okay, let's save it and then hit play. And we're on red team, so we're going to go cap the blue flag. And one thing you'll notice, let me pause it real quick and inject, is that the flag will actually attach automatically to the player's back, which is pretty cool. How that works, so if you're using your own custom character model, you're going to want to, give me 1 second, on your third person mesh to get it to attach to a particular spot, you're going to want to have a socket called a flag socket somewhere on that mesh for it to attach to. Generally, in the back or something like that. Let's go to resume, possess. Then we'll go and take this back. So now if we try to shoot, what's going to happen is we're going to drop that flag. And I mentioned that reset timer earlier. That's what's happening right now. So I'll go and let it finish counting down. When that timer finishes, that flag is going to teleport back to the owning team's base, or its original spawn point, I should say. Three, two, one, boom, and then it's going to head back there. There it is. So now we'll actually go and capture that flag. Boom. And likewise with blue team, go and do a flag capture for them. Go to pick up red. Boom. And then I believe in capture the flag, the game mode, there's a few extra properties for that one, I think. Yes, up here at the top, there's a few extra ones. Weapons allowed score per capture. So how many points you get whenever you score a flag. Weapons allowed while you're holding the flag. So can you shoot your guns and stuff while you're holding that flag? Can you score while the flag's away? So meaning if the blue team has your flag and you have their flag, can you still score, or do you have to wait for your flag to reset? And then here you can reset your own flag by just touching it or not. You can have it run the timer all the way down, or you can just touch it. And that will wrap it up for this episode. The next episode will be the second to last one. That will be showing how to share stuff you've made. That's very, very important. And that should be up probably on Tuesday. Well, anyways, thank you very much. I hope this was a good, informative episode, and I will see you next time.